All right, my dude, you ready?
Sure. How we starting this off?
We started off just like this.
Just like this.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Booze Bros YouTube channel. I am joined today by my co-host Michael
What's
from
up,
Hallowed
guys?
Thrills. How you doing, Michael?
Hey, I am fantastic. How are you doing, Anthony?
You know what? Just broke down a 37-second trailer. This is probably going to be a 10-minute video, and I'm
Oh yeah,
stoked. I mean,
it's the start of something new, man.
it
Start of
is.
something new.
This is a new show that we're bringing over from the Nights of Horror. Gonna add it to this channel. It's called The Breakdown, and we're gonna break down movie trailers, movies. I don't know, anything horror really, anything that catches our attention, I guess. Um, so I talked to Michael about a week ago, and Halloween Kills dropped a 30-second teaser for Halloween time last week. And, I talked to Michael about this. I'm like, hey, let's do a breakdown. Let's see what we can find. So we're going to break this down frame by frame. So I will put up pictures on the screen as to each frame what we're talking about. And we're going to talk about it. But first, we're going to play the trailer for you guys. We are not monetized yet, so it does not matter. Hopefully they don't take the video down, though. But here's the trailer if you guys haven't seen it yet for Halloween Kills coming out in 2021 of October.
Next Halloween, when the sun sets and someone is alone, he kills.
That was the teaser trailer for Halloween Kills. So let's get down to it, man. So first things
Down to the
first,
nitty gritty.
I want to bring up the entire time in the beginning, Jamie Lee Curtis is narrating, and
Yeah, that whole Laurie monologue that she's doing.
yeah, and up until we're gonna get through this screen by screen, but up until you see Michael Myers' mask on the street. She is saying next Halloween when the sun sets and someone is alone, he kills. Referring to, of course, Michael Myers. Obviously, you've seen that many times in the Halloween films. Halloween 1, for example, he was stalking his victims all the way till Halloween night and kills them off one by one. Without killing Laurie, because Laurie gets away. Loomis comes and saves the day. And yeah. So the first screen we see here is a jack-o'-lantern with two skeleton animals. One of them's a crow and one of them's a cat. Simple Halloween decorations, I guess, right?
Yeah, I don't know really much about that. Don't really have much to go off of there.
Unless it's just
Don't really expect.
unless it's a bigger meaning than we expect.
Yeah, I don't really expect it to mean much of anything other than just simple Halloween decorations.
Right. Um, the next frame we see here is empty street at night, but you also hear kids laughing in the background. So are we referring to, of course, the first Halloween film early on in the night? And does this take place the same night? Is my question.
I honestly, I fully expect this to take place the same night. Um, if not, well, because the last movie ended on Halloween, correct?
Yeah, it was still Halloween night.
It was still Halloween night.
And they were at Laurie's freaking bunker of a house that
Yeah,
was all pimped out with all the post-apocalyptic gear. But yeah, they burned the house alive. The last shot we see of that house is no Myers involved, but at the very end of the credits, you hear his breathing.
yeah.
It's kind of
I
symbolizing he's still
mean,
alive.
I can't I can't see them extending it onto November 1st. So I fully expect it to continue. throughout the night of Halloween.
3 films on one night, huh? That's gonna be interesting if they do that.
I mean, maybe the last movie will be a year later.
And just Michael went in hiding.
Michael goes in hiding for some reason. I don't know.
I don't know, man. So the very next shot we see is 2 houses decorated, one with a cat blow up that its head moves, which I thought was interesting. I don't think I've ever seen something like that, but
Yeah.
And one has a spider on the side of the house, which is your common decorations. Again, I don't know if these houses have any meaning at all. I don't know if there's someone's houses that we're going to see in the movie, or they're just showing them off because they have Halloween decorations. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, yeah, they could be like it could have a deeper meaning, but it's too really early to tell with such a little bit of information that we have. I mean, although maybe there's something that we're missing, maybe there's a reference to something that we're missing from them. I don't know.
you know what? I was thinking the same thing. The only thing I can think of were these the houses that, but are they? Now, they were in Haddonfield, right? Or,
Yeah, no, Laurie never left Haddonfield, so
okay, and her daughter and her granddaughter both live in Haddonfield, right?
yeah, I think so.
But it looked like they lived in like more of a suburb type area. I mean, because it didn't look like. I mean, we didn't even see. I don't even think we saw Michael's house in the 2018 one, did we?
No,
So
no, we didn't.
Michael's house has not been revealed. I mean, that was obviously a big benefactor for the first film.
Well, we didn't see the physical house. There was the little diorama that Laurie made.
But like we didn't actually. Michael didn't go into the house. The house was never brought up in chase scenes or anything.
Mm-mm.
And I know that was a big part for the first one. So I wonder if in one of these next 2 movies we're actually going to go back to the Myers house for something. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe the houses surrounding this, maybe I don't know. I mean, because it's kind of hard to tell with that first film. You know, obviously it was filmed in Pasadena, so you know a lot of what around there looks kind of like a suburb setting. With this film, it felt more of like a country kind of setting, but like mixed with some suburb. If you get me, I mean, like the land looked a lot more open and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I wish we would go back to the Myers house, but the issue is since the original movie, the Myers house has moved.
Yeah.
So they'd either have to completely build a new one or try to figure out something on how to make it look like it's back in the same spot that it was 30 some years ago.
Yeah. Which obviously with today's set designs they probably could, but
yeah.
This is the big reveal I think in the beginning of this trailer, which is the house that's, you know, has the most decorations on it. And it's panned down to reveal Michael Myers' mask is on the street. So I'm curious as to why his mask is on the street. If it is indeed his mask, of course. But I mean, obviously someone could have dressed up. But I'm gonna go off the assumption that it is his mask. The only possible scenario I can think of why his mask is on the street is because maybe it caught on fire, which we do see a little damage later on in the trailer.
Yeah, I had that written down. I was like, how did the mask get on the street? I mean, that has to be somewhere. Like, that's going to be somewhere later on in the movie because there's no way that it could start there in the movie.
Right.
Because if he somehow escapes from the basement, he would still have it on.
Yeah.
So I want to know where throughout the night he loses the mask, and will we end up seeing him walking around without it on?
Right. Yeah, right, because I think the one and only time we really saw him... Well, I mean, there's probably multiple times that we've seen him. I can't remember off the top of it. But the one I remember off the top of my head is in Halloween 1 real quick where you see his face. He's got a messed up eye. And that's like pretty much one of the only times they show him without a mask, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, the original or the 2018?
Original. In the 2018, you can see little bits of his faces, but his beard but like in the original, you see it real quick when Laurie pulls off his mask at the end and his eyes all messed up and everything. That's the only time I've really seen him without a mask, as far as like a full face goes.
Yeah.
They always try to keep that kind of a secret as to what he looks like and stuff.
I mean, at least in this storyline.
Yeah, at least in this storyline. So, and
I mean, Rob Zombie saw
Yeah,
Because in the second movie, you saw a lot of his face
like, the
because
whole
the mask
thing,
was
yeah.
falling apart.
But like, yeah, in the first one, in this timeline, the timeline they're going off of, like, and that first one's canon. When she rips off his mask in the beginning or at the end, you see it real quick, but then he puts his mask back on.
hmm
So I'm curious as to why his mask is on the street, and it could be towards the end. Maybe this will set up for the next Halloween movie where they think he's dead, and that's like the last thing of him. But this goes to the next scene where he's actually walking through an alley coming towards a camera, which follows by the next scene of him picking up his mask. So
You see, so I had that section marked off. I couldn't tell if it was Michael or if it was a new character. I mean, it looked like his boots and everything, but you never know. Could be
Yeah.
a new character at this point. But the cop out guess is just it's Michael.
Yeah, I mean, you have the overall kind of bottoms and the boots, which obviously kind of hints at it's Michael walking through an alleyway, which he's famous for in the past movies. But then he picks up his mask, and that kind of makes me think: is this middle, beginning, maybe the end? I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. But I mean, it's really interesting that his mask was on the street, and then he goes and picks it up. So
Yeah, and you could definitely tell that was Michael picking up because you saw his hand was bandaged from when his fingers got shot off
Right.
in the first movie.
That's
And
a good
then
detail too. If you didn't catch that, I didn't even catch that. Good looking out.
yeah, his whole like hand was wrapped up in bandages from like I said, when Laurie blew off his fingers with a shotgun.
Right.
And then the one thing I noticed with the mask is that it's similar to the Trick or Treat the Trick or Treat Studios masks that they made, but not not this one that I have right over here. Not this one. Just bought this today. Not this one, but it's
Nice.
the other one that they made that had like the cut on the cheek
Right.
that you never really saw in the first film.
Right. Yeah.
But in that little clip you could see that there was like a little bit of blood or like a cut on the cheek. So maybe we're finally going to be able to see that version of the mask.
So, and that being said, was Trick or Treat teasing something, and did they know something before we did?
I mean, I will say something. Since I worked at Spirit, I was looking through the SKU book, and when I looked up Halloween, there was supposed to be a mask that released this year.
For Halloween
It said
Kills?
Halloween. It said Michael Myers Halloween Kills mask, and I was like, damn it, we didn't get that.
No. Yeah, they probably had to pull the plug on all the merch this year too because of.
And unfortunately, there was no picture or anything for it to accompany with it.
Was it by Trick or Treat Studios?
It didn't say. It just said Halloween Kills Michael Myers mask.
I'm gonna assume they use. I think they have most of the licensing rights for selling the masks and stuff. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Trick or Treat Studios. You guys predicting the future, man. You guys knew something before we all did. 30-second trailer, and we're only halfway through these damn notes.
Yes.
This next scene, I think me and you were talking before we went on, was Michael Myers bashing someone's head, and what didn't look like a knife, because I know me and you were talking about that. It didn't, and we agreed it wasn't a baseball bat, because whatever it was smaller than a baseball bat. It was like a billy club or something. It wasn't a knife. It wasn't a baseball bat, because the impact on that, the guy swung that way, but the blood goes flying out of his mouth, which I thought was brutal. So I'm curious, Michael Myers pulling a Jason Voorhees and changing up some weapons now and getting creative with his kills again?
I mean, he got a little bit creative last movie. He got that hammer at the very beginning.
Right. No, yeah. And we know from Halloween 1, he likes to decorate his kills and make it a big surprise when people find them. I think we talked about that on the live stream when we did.
Yeah. And then last movie, going back to that, he did do the old school stab the guy into the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
So bringing that back from that movie. So maybe we'll see some more classic original film kills.
I mean, dude.
Maybe we'll see somebody's body swing down.
Right. No. And you know what? It was something with the first Halloween that the kills just felt, and I think it was because we can work with the technology and everything these days, but the kills just felt brutal, and he held no mercy against no one. He even killed a kid at one point. Yeah. Which was like a first for for Michael Myers, but I don't think we've ever seen him I mean, he's attempted to try kill kids, but he's never actually done it on screen. And
I'm glad he didn't kill the baby. Thank God.
I know everybody. I think that was everybody's thoughts when he killed the baby. I think one of the best and funniest kills in that whole movie, though, in 2018, is when he bumps the fucking girl's face in and then he stabs her through the throat.
Oh my God, yes.
Like her face is just in shock after she gets bumped in the head and then
Yeah.
just dies.
But yeah, talking about that Billy Club though, I mean, could it be that he killed a police officer? I mean, you can kind of see like from the back because the shots from the back of the person he's killing,
Right.
so you can kind of see like the sleeve of maybe the jacket from one of the Haddonfield police officers
Right.
from the first movie. I kind of could put together that, which would make sense if it was a Billy Club, stole it from the police officer, bashed his head in.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, we did see him kill a couple cops last movie, so
Yeah.
they're still on the run for him and
Yeah.
looking for him. He can possibly kill more.
Yeah.
Laurie. This is the first time we see Laurie in the trailer. She gives someone a very like interesting stare, looks back at someone like something caught her attention. I believe this is at the hospital as well. And we see a couple shots in the hospital that show them in shock of something, but this one was interesting. I want to know what she's looking at, if it's someone that she knows, or if she saw something at the corner of her eye, or she sees Michael, or what. But I want to know what she was looking at because it obviously caught her interest.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'm trying to see. Yeah, I have no idea what that. Yeah. She just kind of seems puzzled.
Yeah, she's just like what? Someone running in what looks like a woods kind of setting or a park setting. And if you look in the background closely, someone is chasing her. I'm gonna assume it's Michael.
Yeah, I believe that's Allison running.
Right.
And then yeah, I mean,
it didn't. It was kind of hard
I mean,
for me to tell. It didn't look like Allison, but I could be wrong. It could have been one of her friends.
It kind of looks like Allison. I don't know. It's the lighting is very dark.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell, but I mean, I could only guess the person in the background is Michael.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume. I mean, because he's just he's walking slow, and that person is running away from that person. So
yeah,
next to a car of some sort. So I'm assuming they were driving the car, or something happened, and she got out and ran. The next scene, which is a major throwback to the first movie, there's a woman in a car with a gun, another person in the driver's seat. Michael hits the glass. Glass kind of shatters a little bit. Big throwback to the original film and the very beginning of the original film.
Yeah, I actually had something written down for this. I mean, if they want to do like a super throwback, I don't know if the person's still alive, but what if the character in there is the actual original nurse from the original movie?
That'd be cool.
And they bring her back for this film?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I was telling you before we came on that I was like, yeah, I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that and talk about that when we actually get to recording this.
That would be really cool, honestly. I think that would be a big throwback for fans, and I think a lot of fans would like that too. But I thought that was it was a cool throwback to the first one. Obviously, they're paying homage to the first one and a big time homage to the second one, because the majority of this film is supposed to take place at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. So it's gonna be cool. Laurie's granddaughter Allison in hospital with a bloody T-shirt. Man, what can that mean? Was that blood from the first film, or is that something maybe from that woods shot that we saw? Did someone get killed in front of her? What's going on with this one? She walks into the hospital kind of shocked, looking like she's looking for someone, and her shirt's all bloody. So I know it wasn't her Halloween costume though.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the direction on where this movie is going to go, because I fully expect them to end up at the hospital to begin with.
Right.
But that's what you said about it doesn't seem like her costume. Are they going to leave the hospital and then go back?
Yeah, unless some characters are leaving and some characters are staying. It looks like majority of the time we see hospital shots, it's Laurie and her daughter, and the granddaughter's out doing stuff.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what she would be doing out there.
Yeah, I mean, the only speculation I can make is that Laurie's in the hospital, her daughter and her granddaughter get discharged, and then Michael ends up going to the hospital to try to kill Laurie. And then they have to come back. That's my only thought where they could end up having separate areas where they would go back to the hospital.
Yeah. Which this one was an interesting one. Laurie's daughter Karen looking down at something or someone, as she looks like she either defeated something or someone, or I don't know. She just has that look of like she feels like a badass of some sort. She's just looking down as like she just won something.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what this could be. I don't know if this was maybe a hint at the ending. Maybe she thinks she killed Michael Myers, or she killed someone or something. Or the only bad guy I can pretty much think about in this movie is Michael Myers. So I don't want unless someone else is gonna throw us a curveball and be another bad guy.
Yeah, like the freaking doctor from the last movie.
Yeah, that was like a giant curveball at the end. I was like, what the hell's going on? All right, this is something that's a throwback to the first film, and this is actually a character from the first film. The first of two characters that you see in this teaser, which I thought was a good surprise. And me and Michael didn't figure this out until about 5 minutes before we went on, because I went on IMDb looking up characters and who's playing what. There's a lady in this scene that is shining a light at something or someone. This specific person is supposed to be Lindsay Wallace, who actually was one of the little kids in the original Halloween movie. Now, I don't know if it's played by the same actor and actress, but it's supposed to be an adult version of them, all grown up. So I want to know what their connection to this film is going to be. Are they going to hear about the Michael Myers killings again and come to Laurie's aid and help her out? Are they going to be on their own? What's going to happen? Because obviously they had that connection with Laurie in the first film where she was the babysitter. She helped them get to safety. And obviously they have to be traumatized by Michael Myers that Halloween night in 78. So I'm curious to see what is going to happen with these two characters and how they come back into to light. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure how Lindsay's gonna play in, and then the other character that we haven't mentioned yet that's later on in the trailer. But yeah, I don't know how they're exactly gonna play into it and how they are gonna end up finding out about everything, like everything that went on earlier that night. If we're supposing that everything is continuing Halloween night.
I'm gonna assume yes, this is the same night, because the very first clip we ever got of this film was Laurie, her daughter and her granddaughter in the back of a truck, and the police and fire department heading towards her house to try to put out that fire. So that was definitely the same night.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna assume they were on their way to the hospital, and that's what's gonna start up a bunch of shit like, Michael Myers is still alive. We gotta stay safe. Which brings me to my next clip. Speaking of staying safe, me and you had a confusing one to find out this scene in specific. Who is loading a pistol?
Yeah. We both have our own thoughts about this. Because who did you think it was originally?
I'm gonna go and I gotta rewatch it, but I'm thinking Laurie because of the badass person she was with guns last movie, and that's the only really person I can think of who would. I mean, obviously there'd be a lot of people using guns in this movie, but I would say Laurie. I mean, we saw the most of using guns last film.
Yeah, my thought is it's either a new character or for some God knows why they decided, oh yeah, let's give Michael a fucking gun. Let's give him a gun. Why not? Let's give a very demented serial killer a fucking gun.
That's like fucking. Let's do a Batman movie and give him a gun.
Like I honestly, yeah, I think it's a male character. Maybe somebody that we haven't seen, but the only like hint that we have is that it might not be Michael because it kind of looks like a leather jacket and not coveralls.
Which is going to be, well, we're going to get to that in a bit, because I do want to talk about another character that will be joining the cast and will be actually returning, an original character. We'll talk about that right now. Michael Myers' mask, we see a full mask shot for the first time. Actually a full messed up mask shot. It looks kind of like a Two-Face kind of thing, where like half the mask is like the one that you have, and then the other half looks all messed up from maybe the fire, all burned up and stuff.
Yeah, kind of like burnt and melted on the left side.
Maybe that was the mask that Spirit Halloween was supposed to receive this year. Makes a lot of sense. Obviously, that's probably going to be a major point, a major thing that you're going to see this movie is him with that kind of burnt half mask. I think my goal now is just to collect all the masks, just for the hell of it.
Just every Michael Myers mask.
Yeah, even the shitty ones.
Oh, I don't know about
I
that.
actually finally I watched H2O the other day and I saw the many mask changes that you were talking about.
Did you see the was it CGI mask?
When does the CGI mask occur?
There's a singular like fight scene. I think it looks like it's in like a chapel or something.
Okay, yeah, I know which one you're. I think that's the one where she's up against. It's him and Laurie, right?
I think so. And he has like I think he has like a flagpole or something, or like some kind of like weird like rod.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess they forgot to reshoot that, so they're like, "Fuck it, CGI mask, make it look like the one that we've been using."
The one in the very beginning, because whatchamacallit's in that movie? Shit, what's his name? Fuck, the guy who was in. Fuck, I forget his name. He's a pretty good actor. He's all right. Fuck, he was Robin in fucking Batman: The Dark Knight Rises.
I have no idea.
I forget his name. Anyway, he's fighting one of the kids in the beginning, and the fucking mask looks like the one from Halloween 4. I was like, that's awesome. This one's an interesting one right here. Laurie yelling at Michael from the hospital. What is that about? And there's a whole crowd of people seeing this.
Yeah, that brings back to what I was saying. Maybe Michael shows up at the hospital, and that's why Allison and Karen have to go back.
Right. That makes a lot of sense because, well, I think they're all three of them are there, I think, or at least Karen and Laurie are there, I think, in that shot. I think I remember seeing them in that shot.
Let me see.
But,
it is Karen and Laurie.
so Allison's elsewhere somewhere, either
Yeah,
inside
Allison
the
is
hospital
out
or
doing.
out doing something.
Yeah.
This is going to be the next thing. This is the other character that I talked about is returning. Anthony Michael Hall, with a fucking baseball bat. The nerd from fucking 16 Candles and Breakfast Club and Weird Science, fucking holding a baseball bat. He's coming in this film and he's playing a character that was a kid in the 1978 film, Tommy Doyle. And he's got a fucking baseball bat ready to fuck Michael Myers up, dude. This actually reminds me of who's that one? There's another fucking Tommy in Friday the 13th that as a kid he saw Jason and fucking he comes back and like tries to fight him.
I can't remember.
I always called him Tommy Salami. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know about that being like that's definitely Tommy Doyle as like confirmed by
IMDb.
IMDb. But but anyway, but like let's think about it this logically. Say in the 78 film, Tommy's like 5.
I think he's like 6.
5 or 6, either way. That's like he's looking rough for 36, man.
He'd be 36, right?
He's looking like 36, 37.
No, he'd be like 46, wouldn't he? Because that movie came out like 40 years ago.
Did it?
Yeah, that movie came out 40 fucking years ago. They just celebrated the 40th 42 years ago, actually. So he'd be like 50, almost.
No.
He'd be almost like, he'd be like in his late 40s. He'd be like 40. He'd be like 48 or 49, dude.
Nuh-uh.
If he's 6 years old right there, and there's 40 years ahead.
So wait.
Plus the other 2, he'd be
No,
like
it's 30. It's 32 years. The movie released in 78. It's 2020.
It's fucking 40, dude.
No, it's 32.
78, 88, 98, 2008, 2018. That's 40 fucking years. They just celebrated the 40th anniversary. You can go buy the Blu-ray and it says 40th anniversary on it. 40 fucking years. So he would be nearly, and add another 2 years to that, he would be about 49 years old.
Okay. I retract my statement then.
Tommy Doyle is 40 fucking 9 years old. Say if he was 6 years old. If he was 5, then he'd be 48, but he's in his late 40s. Let's just put it at that.
He's in his late 40s.
That's a long journey. That means fucking, I'm assuming Lindsay Wallace is the same age.
Mm-hmm. I feel like she was
Was it
older
young-
than him in
was
the
she older?
older than him in the first.
At that case, then
movie.
she's older, and that's bad. Then how fucking old is Laurie? Because she had to be like, what, 16, 17 when that first film.
So Laurie's like fucking like almost
She's gotta be
70.
like 60 or almost 70 years old, dude. Fuck.
Jesus.
And she's still fucking kicking ass, dude. Oh my
This
god.
timeline is shit, man.
By the way, a 30-second fucking trailer, and we got into the 30-minute mark. That's awesome.
Let's move it. Let's move it along.
real quick. Bashes old lady's head on the door and breaks through the glass. I thought that was pretty fucking brutal. No
Yeah.
fucks given to any of the any age group. But I thought the funniest scene of all this was the old lady screaming for her life, holding a wine bottle.
The wine bottle just.
Yeah, it was just like, are you gonna throw the? I would throw the wine bottle. At him.
What are you doing with it?
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna throw the wine bottle at him, or freaking, I don't know, I'll do something, trip on it or something. The kid running down the street from someone. Now we're gonna just go off an assumption. He's probably either running. I have two theories. He's either running from bullies of some sort. I don't know why. I mean, these movies tend to have bullies. The first one had bullies with Tommy Doyle. Or he's running from Michael Myers himself, and he witnessed a killing of some sort.
Yeah, I did make a point when we were talking about it before starting to record that for some reason, there looks like there's a light source coming from behind him. Maybe he's running from a car, but
Right.
I couldn't really 100% make it out. Yeah, I mean, it could have just been a street light.
So we don't know what this is. I made the joke that it's probably Silver Shamrock chasing after him. I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be a good Halloween 3 Easter egg. I'll defend that movie to the day I die.
He stole the mask, man. He
Yep.
stole one of the masks.
That's how the first movie started in the people cheering or rioting in front of the hospital. We don't know what this is for. I don't know if they're either rioting or cheering for Laurie, or they know Michael Myers is coming, or something's happening where they're either cheering or rioting. The only reason I say cheering is because there's actually one guy in the back that's smiling. So
Yeah.
unless he just gets happy when people riot, that guy's a weirdo.
I will actually point something out about that entire thing is that you can see in the very front. Let's see if I can find it in this trailer. Where is it at? That, yeah, in the very front. Does that look like an ambulance, or does it look like the back of a bus?
I don't have the trailer, but for me, when I first saw it, it looked like an ambulance.
Like now, looking at it closer now, it does look like an ambulance. But when I first saw it, I was like, "Is that the back of the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the mental hospital? Like, is that the back of the bus from the first movie?"
I'm gonna skip to it real quick.
It's at the 27-second mark.
That is an ambulance.
It is.
Because you can see the logo by the girl's head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is that? Now look at, okay. This could be nothing, but it's just me being me now. There's one face that stands out more than anything in that scene, and that's to the left. There's a woman's face right there. Is that Allison?
All the way in the back?
Yeah, I mean, that's the most shine face out of...
Yeah. I don't think that is. I think it's just a random person who's just randomly lit more than everybody else.
Yeah, no shit. Like, we like that girl's face. We're gonna light her up more.
I don't know.
And
Moving on, though.
The final frame of this thing after a 30-minute long video. I'm sorry you had to sit through this, but you know it worked out, didn't it? Was indeed Laurie's granddaughter Allison has a cut on her forehead. She may have gotten stabbed or gotten hurt or fell or something, and she's screaming at somebody like for her life. So again, only assumption I can make on that, it's Michael Myers probably chasing her, or she witnessed someone getting killed and she's screaming. But she's got a giant scar on her forehead, which I'm assuming was. I'm gonna go on an assumption and say she fell. That's the only logical reason. I mean, I don't see Michael Myers just doing that. Just that.
Yeah, I don't see him doing that.
And then the trailer ends with a title card for Halloween Kills, announcing that it will be in theaters October 2021. That is our theories, thoughts, breakdown for Halloween Kills. I can guarantee you after this first episode, we will structure this a lot better so you don't have to sit through us 30 minutes of rambling.
Yes.
But, I mean, there was just a lot to say. I mean, yeah, it was 30 seconds, but as far as me and Michael, I mean, we can break this down and fucking prove our theories or whatever. I don't know. So
I can talk about Halloween for days.
right. So if these are all real, we apologize. If any of them are true. Potential spoilers. I probably should have said that in the beginning, but I mean, it's just theories and stuff. We don't know what's actually gonna happen in this film. We're just going based off
Just a
theories.
theory.
Yeah.
A game theory.
Yep. But that is going to do it for today's episode of The Breakdown. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to check out Michael at Hallowed Thrills on his channel. I'm Anthony from the Knights of Horror. You can check out my channel. Links will be in the description below. But of course, as you're here on the Booze Brothers channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, that bell notification, be aware every time we put up a new video, and go ahead and follow each and every one of the Booze Brothers on both on all social media platforms and on YouTube. If you want to keep up with any specific Boo Brother, they all should be listed on our channel, and you'll find everyone there. But don't forget to ask yourself, have you been entertained?
Don't forget, stay hollowed.